Hey guys, welcome to Camping with Steve. I was driving past and I found an airport with a lot of woods beside it. And I'm gonna go get the gear and do this stealth camping, but this looks like it could be real fun. Okay, I got my gear with me. Just gonna take one trip out there, past the runway here. That helicopter's gone. There's some tables and chairs set up here. It's fairly active local flights, really short haul things coming through. They're regularly scheduled. This weather is atrocious, but look at all these woods here. That should provide some decent shelter. I'll be back for my sleeping bag in a bit, but just one trip at a time so it doesn't look like I'm carrying too much along this barbed wire fence. Okay, there's some good shelter here. Good view of the runway. Seems pretty dry too. Lots of trees for the hammock. Just what I like to see. So I got my sleeping bag. It's in a garbage bag so it looks less suspicious. It looks like I'm just littering instead. But the wind, it's a little gusty. You know, probably 12 knots here. In the woods it should be a lot more calm. And I'll gotta get out of this rain. I got a big sleeping bag today because I don't want to be cold out here and I'm already starting to get a little wet. I'm gonna set up here between these two trees. There's a lot of these little branches in the way, but that's okay. It'll give me more stealth. I'm really excited to get under this tarp. Sounds like another airplane taking off, so go check that out. Okay. This is pretty good. It'll keep me pretty dry and really hidden. I'm gonna put everything into this hammock, zip it up. I'm gonna check out the little airport lounge because believe it or not, they got one. We'll do a moderate stealth test here as well. So not far away from here. Doesn't have that much of an appearance to it. There is a road right on that side there. And of course the airport is right there. And from here, yeah, you got to be pretty much there before you can see anything. Look at that. Looks great to me. This video is a little plain, so it might not take off, but we're just having fun tonight. That restaurant slash lounge is all the way across the runway, so there's no shortcut across that. So I gotta kind of brave the rain here. The wind is really bad once you're out of those woods, so I can't wait to get to the airport. And just about there.
Right there?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks. All right, that was a good way to warm up. I'm gonna hit the restroom here because of the pee factor. I'm gonna head back out to my spot in the woods. Due to all the music playing, I was not able to really film any noise in there, but had a beer or two, watched a few planes, taking off and landing. They got the landing lights on now, which they seem to only do when there's a plane landing, so there could be something coming soon. I think they're trying to save electricity or something. Fine, I'll walk in the mud. Oh no. My famous cluster knot came undone. So, gotta retie that. Gonna check on everything, make sure nothing's too soaked. Things don't seem bad at all. Kept the sleeping bag in this garbage bag. I was already in a compression bag, so that's good and dry. Inside of the hammock, there's a little moisture, but it's so windy that should dry it off real fast. Now I can feel the thing sagging quite a bit, so I want to keep the hammock low because the lower it is, the stealthier it is. This will be all right tonight. My head's going to be at this end, so I really want to pay attention to the cord line of the hammock. And right now it's slanting down. It's looking a little better. That's one of the less obvious shelters I've ever done. And I've done some pretty obvious ones, except right there's a road on one side, right there. And on the other side, there's an airport runway. Here. And I'm stuck in the middle with you. Hammock is drying out awesome. I was originally going to do the cot with a little tarp over top of it here, but with all the rain I had to change my angle of attack so that I could stay comfortably dry and cook under here without too much of an issue. And this is beautifully stealthy to use in a situation like this. Obviously time for a step 2. Today's is a Wingman by Ace Brewing Company. It's local-ish. Perfect. I don't have to be too stealthy cracking a beer over here, other than that walking trail. So this one's a pale ale. This airport seems to be the type that's only active during daylight unless there's an emergency. That really works good for me. Lots taking off and landing when I was in that pub, so I haven't seen anything out here yet or heard anything, but I really didn't want to stall and miss having a pint at the pub. If I knew I could count on that pub to be open, I would have had some dinner there, but I brought some food with me as well. We'll get that cooking in a little bit, and they've turned on some pretty big lights at the airport here. It's still really windy, not a lot of rain, but a lot of wind, and that's okay. Hunkering down here, it's cozy, and I don't want to be walking around too much because there's that trail right there. And if somebody sees me, things could really take a nosedive. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. The runway lights are on. I thought they only did that if there's a plane coming, from what I saw so far. Let's check it out. Those weren't the runway lights. they were just normal street lights. I thought were the runway lights. And I'm losing my excuse pretty fast here. If somebody asks what I'm doing. Normally in the daytime I can say, I'm a big fan of aviation. I hate aviation, I'm scared of flying. But if anybody asked, I would just say, yeah, the Cessna. Everything's a Cessna in these airports. They're gonna buy it. I got a new flashlight specifically for this trip. I'm not gonna talk about the brand or anything like that because I'm not here to sell flashlights. I'm here to sleep beside the airport. But it's controllable from my phone. So I can go like bright or not bright, or I can change the color, etc. So this one actually does what a lot of people talked about, which is a red light. Now, I'm going to give a quick reason why I don't do red lights when I'm camping, which seems very smart and stealthy, except that I'm colorblind and I don't see well in red light. So by the time I can see what I'm doing with this light on, it is so bright that the airplane's going to think that's part of the runway probably. So I don't play with that. I will just keep it as low as possible. There's green light spectrums on here. I can mess with it quite a bit, and I'll let you know more on this flashlight as I experiment with this a little bit more. But I can put it all the colors of the rainbow, which yeah, I don't want to signal any emergency planes to land or anything because I'm right by the runway with a fairly bright light that does a number of colors. Okay, it's dark, which leads me to my next point, the ever so dreaded stealth test. And I got a unique system today because that flashlight's controlled by my phone. So I can turn it on from out there on the trail and see exactly how obvious it is. Oh, this airport is a little intimidating at night because of all the lights they have on. I get the feeling they're not going to see my little flashlight. I have it pointed away from the airport. So, from out here on the trail, let's see. I'm gonna turn on the lights and we're gonna see just how bad it is, because it's in those woods there somewhere, and I'll just blast it. So, okay, I can see that kind of through there. Turn it off. Yeah, turn it on. Turn it off. But yeah, they're not gonna see that from there. And going down this way, on, off, on. So you definitely see something if you were looking coming this way in the woods. Because again, on, off, on, etc. But that's pointed the complete opposite way. It's pointed right back to the road on the other side. So we'll turn that off. Maybe see what it looks like from towards that way. I am nowhere near the road right now, but if I turn it on from here, full blast in the hammock, it looks like that. That's not bad because the road is another 40-50 feet that way. I think we're good. One of the first things I'll do, so I don't forget, I'm going to pack away my empty beverage container here because I want to be a good steward of the environment. This works good. I've got the flashlight stored in the overhead compartment in the hammock. It's fully adjustable. I can turn it whatever way I want, and I'll just point it away from the airport as much as possible. It is still windy, it's getting pretty cold, and I have a sleeping bag, so I think it's time to whip it out. I don't care what they say about sleeping bags. You don't go by the temperature rating, you go by how big and heavy it is. this is going to be great. And I just need to lay this down right now before I start cooking. And I have to wait for maybe the wind to die down, but it looks like the rain's going to start again. We'll figure this out. But so far it's pretty cozy and pretty good with this thing on. I like this. I got food I want to cook, but everything's kind of up in the air right now because the wind will not stop. And my little camp stove is not going to work precisely as I want. There's a whirlybird out there already. Wow, it's like 7 in the morning. Woo. Holy moly, helicopters are so loud. Glad they weren't doing this all night. That would have been terrible. Alright, time to get up. The best weapon in the stealth camping arsenal is the hammock. So quick to deploy, so quick to take down, very small, etc. Last night I was worried the pitch of the hammock would make me roll all night, but I was yawning already, so I fell asleep pretty quick. Everything looks good here, better than when I showed up. Actually the same as when I showed up, but yeah, I got this one done. Nobody's the wiser. Just like it never happened. So the next video is going to be a departure from the stealth, but that's okay. I don't want to do any spoilers, but it is going to be fun for me. 2 videos lined up, interesting projects, and thank you everybody for watching. Please consider subscribing. My ride is here. And yeah, this was an interesting one. I'm glad it wasn't a busier airport, because then I wouldn't have gotten any sleep, but I slept like a baby, waking up every hour screaming. See you guys on the next one.